Hi, welcome to Mondays with Melissa. Today I want to talk about what happens in New York if you die without a will. Most people assume that if they are married and they die without a will, their spouse just gets everything. So it leads a lot of people to believe that they don't need a will, which is just not the case. In New York, if you pass away without a will, your estate passes by the laws of intestacy, which means that your spouse gets the first $50,000 plus 1/2 of the balance of your estate, and your children, if you have children, will get the other half of your estate equally. So many people really don't know that. That's one of the things that I think people are most surprised to hear when they come in to sit down with us. The other thing that's really important to keep in mind is that if you have minor children, you really need to make sure you have a will to ensure that there are guardians in place for your minor children if something happens to both you and the other parent, because there's no laws that say where the children go. That's what you set up in your will, whether you want them to stay in the school districts, whether you want them to stay in the home, whatever the desire is for your children. If something happens to both parents, it's really important to have that down on paper. So it's not just about where the assets go. It's really important if you have minor children that you have that set up. But again, one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that if you don't have a will when you pass away, your spouse just gets everything. And that isn't true. And you have to be really careful, especially if there's a second marriage, because you want to make sure that everything goes the way that you want it to go. We meet with people all the time now, a lot more than we used to, who are in very long-term second marriages and have adult children from their prior marriages. And it's important to make sure that everything is set up exactly the way that you want it, so there are no surprises and that everything passes to whom you want it to pass to, because you have plans in place to take care of certain people and make sure things happen if you pass away, especially unexpectedly, and you just want to make sure that all those T's are crossed and I's are dotted and everything is in place. So just a little bit of information that's come up recently that I noticed people asking a lot of questions about. Please feel free to check out our website, konaelderlaw.com, or give us a call at 631-390-5000. And make sure to check me out at Legally Melissa on Instagram and Facebook, and we'll keep bringing you some important information. See you next week.